It's weird I'm here without Dee. That feels very weird.
She'll be here in a few minutes. She's downstairs finishing up autographs. She's so kind. We're like, she's a panel, and she's like, oh, just two more. So she'll be.
And we have a surprise for Dee that she does not know about, and that I don't think she knows exists. So that's gonna be fun. You don't even know what the surprise is.
No, not at all.
So
I hope it's good, Danny.
So good.
Right. So while we have you,
Yes.
let's put the spotlight on you.
Okay.
You were, what, six?
6.
When the film happened. So I would love to know a little bit more. Obviously, what do you remember best from the movie?
Yeah, nothing. Honestly, I was so young. I mean, I was 6. I have a couple of vague memories in general. Oh, we gotta put our zombie pumpkin up here.
Yes, where is he?
I have a couple of really vague memories. This guy, so this is Ryan. He comes from Zombie Pumpkins, which is a website. He has the most intricate and beautiful pumpkin designs, and he just brought a Cujo one today to show us and to sign. But seriously, check Zombie Pumpkins out. I've been following him for like 10 years. The stencils are all like really accurate and beautiful. So anyway, what I always say is that it had to be some sort of divine intervention, because there was no way to teach a 6-year-old how to do what I did in the movie. It's just not possible. And I had already been acting for 4 years before that. I've been acting since I was 2. So literally, the universe had a hand in this. There's no other way. To be able to do that performance and not be traumatized by any of it is, I think, the thing that people don't understand it. Most people they just assume because of the performance that I had to have been scarred from it. But Dee will tell the story, I'm sure, of like every take she would say, now you know it's not real, it's just a dog, it's just makeup. And I'd be like, oh no, I'm good. Are they moving the camera? Where are they gonna go next? Literally, like not even a trace of it. And I said to someone earlier, if there isn't a dog in the frame, there's no dog. Because they had certain rules about how long the dogs could be on set. And we're not gonna get all of our stuff with the dog. There's just not enough time. And to give the dog a rest too. So if you don't see a dog in the shot, in the frame, likely chances that we're screaming to nothing. And to be able to do that also, just seems absolutely bonkers. So yeah, I have very vague memories. The most specific memory I have, which is the strangest thing, is glycerin. So they use glycerin in makeup in movies for sweat. So because it doesn't, what's the word? It doesn't evaporate. So it stays a lot longer and it looks like sweat. And so the smell of the glycerin under my nose for 3 months, every time I smell glycerin now, which does not happen often, but I think I think some of the smoke that they use in the machines has glycerin in it. So sometimes those trigger like the vaguest memory, the vaguest sort of feeling.
So when you're downstairs near the bar, it was just bringing back memories, all that smoke.
Only sometimes. It's not always. I don't think all of them have glycerin in it. But yes, in general, yes. Oh, no. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, TikTok. How are you? Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about TikTok. I see you're really popular there.
Oh.
You've been live streaming all weekend long.
Yes. Well, nowadays in this business, half of the battle is to be as proficient with social media as you can, which I think is awful, but part of the job. So when I decided to come back to the business about 3.5 years ago, I said, I gotta really make that happen. So I've been doing a lot of posting over the years, and for a long time it was just me talking to the camera, which was really boring, and it's the same stories over and over again. And back in November, I love models. I love building models and cute things and glue and following instructions. And so I bought one of these book nooks that they sell on TikTok. Has anybody seen the book nooks on TikTok? So I bought one, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. Oh, maybe I should do this on TikTok live. And I went from 30 people to 150, like basically overnight. I have soft music in the background, and I build these book nooks. And then somebody said, I want to buy that. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, I don't have time to build that, but that's gorgeous. What are you going to do with it? Sell it to me. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was November. I've sold 94 of them. since then, and they start at $130 because they take me 6 to 10 hours to build. And what I do is I tell you when I'm going to build the book nook that you bought. And so you can watch me on the TikTok live building the book nook that you bought. And I can be like, hey, what color do you want this to be? So it's just very soothing, safe space, no drama, no politics, none of that. Just us building and relaxing. And I have a mom who puts her 3 kids to sleep every day with my TikTok, which,
You want to shout out your TikToks?
Yeah, it's just my name, Danny Pintauro. Yeah, I'm Danny Pintauro on all the social medias because it's easiest, right? Yeah, hi TikTok. How many people are watching? 42, that's it? Wow, yesterday we had 250. Oh, the algorithm. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you get asked the same questions a lot. What is the most common question you get? Because I don't want to ask you right now.
Number 1 is how traumatized were you, for sure. Number 2 is Who's the Boss related. It is always people say, oh, you're from Who's the Boss. How was it working with Tony Danza? How was it working with Judith Light? How was it working with Alyssa? Not, you were so good in that show. You were so funny. Literally, how was it working with all of these other people? So that's like my real favorite question. I just love that question. No. What else do I get a lot on TikTok? No, that's really the bulk of it, yeah. Or I knew you were gay when you were 8. I get that a lot. Everybody knew but me, apparently.
Besides you.
Besides me. Yeah. Yeah. But now I watch it back and I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, girl. Really? I mean.
We knew.
Oh, God. It was a different time,
And speaking of fan interactions, any fun, memorable ones this weekend? Any fun interactions with people?
Oh, there's always fun. I mean, the idea that we've sort of lost as a society is the grow up with you thing. That's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. But for all of anybody who's around my age, it was very much for 25 weeks of the year, every Tuesday or Friday or whatever it is, you would watch our show, and we literally grew up together. It does not exist anymore. With all the streamers, everything comes out at the same time, all the episodes, you binge them at once. If they do still do that, it just doesn't feel the same because it's literally, you would eat dinner, and then you would all gather around the television. You can't record it, right? Back in the early 80s, there wasn't VHS, so you can't record it. You all have to watch it. That's your one chance to watch it. And I think the thing that touches me the most is when people say, and I get this surprisingly more often than you'd think, that Who's the Boss was the only bright light in their childhood. And that's really hard to hear, but I'm glad we provided that for them. It really is that kind of a show,
Not Cujo?
Yeah, not so much Cujo. I mean, the only thing I hear from Cujo people is that they were traumatized, but a lot of kids watched that movie way too early. And with the dog involvement, it really scarred. I mean, every convention I have at least one person who says they could not go around dogs for years after seeing the movie. Yeah? Are you that guy? Yeah. Now you love them? I mean, I'd be terrified too. God is scary. So I always say, how old were you when you saw Cujo? And if it's anything under 10, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But nowadays we have those kids who are young and way into the horror. It's so crazy. Oh, look who it is.
Look who it is. It's a lovely day.
Oh, hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I don't know why they
You were busy. We wanted to let you get your table done.
we had a long line that had been waiting for some time, so thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate your patience. Why are you lying about me?
What did I say? No.
I don't know. What did
Oh.
he say? If he said I was a bitch to work with, he's lying through his teeth.
I would never. Oh, what did I say about you? Oh, that you would tell the story about, it's not real. And then I'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, what are they filming next?
Oh, my God. That scene where he goes into the fit, And I said, okay, Danny, this is why I play mothers. are you okay? Are you scared, honey? Do you need help? He went, oh, that happened to me when I was little. Watch. And he goes right into, when I'm little, he was 6 years old, right? I said, well, I'm not going to have to worry about this kid. I'm telling you, I got up every day and thank God I got this kid to do this movie with. Can you imagine getting a kid? I can, because I've been there.
Yeah.
Getting a kid where you have to direct every nuance, and yeah, we would have never gotten through the movie, ever. Because when you're the adult and the kid works and the dog works in the same scene, they print it no matter what the hell you do. You know, so I had to be on everything. But he was just like working with another adult.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. But I was saying to them, like, it's not something you can teach a 6-year-old. And so I still believe the universe was involved a little bit, you know, like giving me those tools, you know.
Danny, the universe is always involved.
Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. Do you have more questions for us?
Yes, as I said, I have a few questions, but then I'd love to open up to the audience at the end. But number one question, I've been thinking about this. Are you still animal lovers?
Absolutely.
I just stopped downstairs. There were 2 dogs. And I said, you have to bring them by my table when I'm back at my table. I have to get my fix of petting these dogs. And you are too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Before coming back to the business, when I was living in Austin, I was a vet technician, literally. And I worked at a shelter for a few years as the cat care attendant. I had 70 cats a day that I would have to feed and medicate and give fluids to, and even the feral cats, because we had a program to adopt out feral cats. So I would have to like literally glove up and then stuff up, you know. Yeah, but I have lots and lots of scars. This here is a big scar from a Great Dane who bit me right through. Yeah, it was real scary, but poor thing was in pain. He was suffering some from this. Sometimes big dogs get this arthritis when they're puppies that goes away. So he was in a lot of pain, and we tried to lift him, and he did not like that. So
that's the only way they have to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, before I even took Cujo, I had a meeting. I said, I want to be sure that there's a lot of rules in place, that these dogs are going to be taken care of. They're not going to be overworked. They're not going to be, you know, restrained. And they gave me written words and they weren't they? The trainer, Carl Miller, I'm telling you, these dogs were trained within an inch of their lives. He even slept in the barn with them. Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is that each dog was basically trained to do something specific. So one dog would be the one who jumps on the window. Another one would be the one who barks from afar, or whatever the thing was. Diggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were all trained to go after toys. So we had to tie their tails down with fish wire because they were wagging them all the time. On the back end, while the front end was going, right? So the first day, Danny and I are in the set in the car. Louis Teague, our director, comes up and says, Dee, Carl Miller, the handler of the dogs, the trainer, was wondering if maybe we could do the master with the dog, and then when we come to cover you guys, a guy would come in and do it. And I thought, yeah, right. I said, okay, let's try it. So we did the scene with the dog, which was easy to be terrified when you got into the scene. And then we went to Danny's coverage, and Louis comes up to the window and goes, rawr, 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 which is exactly what all the crew did. And then Danny started laughing. And I said, what do you think, Louis? He said, yeah, no, that ain't going to work, you know. I mean, you can't duplicate what was it about? It was the sound mostly. Yeah. The sound from the dogs was very frightening, even though they were acting. So yeah, that
I
was
think
funny.
for me, part of what was scary, and I'm just putting this memory together now, is that there was so much, what's the word? Not anxiety, but the whole crew was so stressed before every one of those takes with the dog because we have so few opportunities. Just the energy in the air was very palpable, and I think that really, I felt that energy. Yeah.
Well, Danny and I had to have our energy through the roof so that we could believably react in terror. So even though we knew we were never in danger with the dogs, in the moment of the action of the scene, it was very easy to step over that line and go there, don't you think?
Yeah. And what happened with
me.
Well, I love the story you tell about how, and I've been telling this to my students because I teach summer camp for young actors, and I've been talking about a moment when you are so connected to the character that your body doesn't understand the difference between, and so your actual fight or flight mechanism comes into play.
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
So
What story are you referring to?
just that your adrenal glands, because the 3 months.
Yeah, I blew out my adrenals. Blew them out. Yeah, I'm still on adrenal supplements. They treated me for exhaustion for 3 weeks after Cujo. Well, because you don't, your mind and your brain don't know you're acting. So you go through the same chemical reaction as if you are really in fight or flight for your life, which we lived in for 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
imagining going back to, your other roles, and you do Gremlins, or you do, like, Who's the Boss? Like, it's like, oh, a whole different world. Just going from that to then.
Oh God, Who's the Boss was so easy comparatively. I mean, 4 lines, just show up and like act cute. I mean, there was nothing to it. And by then I was, consummate professional. Already been on a soap opera and Cujo and Highway to Heaven. And then I'm like, hi Mom. Oh, it's so silly.
Oh, but it was such a great show.
Oh yeah. No, so good. So good. Can we do the surprise now before I forget?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I have a little something that I don't think you know about.
I do?
Yeah, I don't think you know about it.
No, I don't.
And you certainly haven't seen it. But my dad was going through some boxes.
You're not getting naked or anything.
No. Oh, that's later. That's later, darling.
I see.
Not with you. Oh God, no. My husband's over there. We'll say that. Anyway. So I probably shouldn't be touching it.
Dylan's down here red.
He's bright red. Probably shouldn't be touching it, but I don't have gloves. But I have my original script from Cujo. Yeah.
I'm touching it now.
That's my original copy.
Wow.
And in the first page, there's an invite to the rap party that was like a separate piece of paper that came with it. This here. Daniel Blatt and Neil Maklis request the honor of your presence at the genuine and official Cujo buffet dinner and game show rap party.
I don't remember this at all. Was I there?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Were you there?
I don't know. I just have the invitation. I'm sure we were there. I'm sure. But then I got people to sign it back then, and I didn't even know. Billy Jacoby.
Yeah.
Peter something?
Peter.
Take care of yourself. I don't know, Peter. Was that the bald-headed guy with the beard, maybe?
I don't know.
And then Ayalani, the mom. She played the mom of the house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was wonderful.
Yeah. So you're going to have to sign it, and I'll sign it, and then it'll be worth a lot of money. but I will never sell it.
Maybe I'll hold out.
Oh, rude.
I'll sign it for you.
Anyway, isn't that cool?
That's very cool that you've. Where did you find it?
It was in a box. My dad has had it all these years. And they gave the crew a jacket. Not a Letterman jacket. One of those sort of 80s bomber coats with Cujo. And I think my name is on the back. So he has that too.
I didn't get one.
Of course you do. You
I
had
did
to.
not get one.
I don't know.
I still have all my stuff from
Yeah.
the Howling, the sweatshirt and everything.
Oh, cool. It's my size, so you had to have gotten one. I mean, they didn't make it just for me. I don't know. Anyway, stop touching it.
Bite me. September 22nd, 1982.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
But we didn't start filming.
Till 83, yeah. But maybe this was the copy they gave me. I mean, that was the script I used. I don't know.
Wow.
Very cool, though, huh?
I was not invited to that party.
Say, Danny, is that some glycerin on there? I don't know.
Oh, right?
That's like
Right?
little dog fur.
If you come to my table, I also have a script from Who's the Boss, the Betty White episode, and it has, I used to put tabs on the pages of where my lines were and highlight them, so come check it out.
That's cool. I want to see that.
Cool. What else you got for us?
Well, I said, Danny, I already asked you this question. So, Dee, now that you're here with us, what is a really good interaction you had this weekend? Any really great questions you were asked or any really nice people you met? Bless you.
Thank you. Wow. You know, I really love doing these conventions because I look at it as a big exchange of love between all of us. I mean, I hear like, oh, the first time I saw E.T. was with my grandma. You know, it's such a good memory with my grandma. And some guy came up and said, yeah, I saw Cujo at the drive-in. I didn't see a lot of it the first time, Dee. You know, so it's just a big love exchange of memories that we all have. And I love that. So I thank you for being here to share all those with me. Yeah.
It was before you got here, but one of the things I was telling them was that I always have at least one person who says, Who's the Boss? Watching Who's the Boss was the only bright light in my childhood.
Yeah.
And that's always rough to hear, but also just nice to be able to have that exchange, that
You
moment.
bet. You bet. I had a lady come up to me one day at a con and said, Miss Wallace, you're a part of a miracle in my life. And her son was 10 years old and autistic, and she had never heard him speak a word. And she took him to see the re-release of E.T., and on the way home, he said every line that E.T. said in the film. Can you imagine never hearing your child speak? You know, we really don't realize how many lives we touch and how many memories we help create for the world, you know. Thank you. I had a young man come up and say, you know, I'm from a little tiny town in Texas, and in the 4th grade, my parents got divorced. And everybody shunned me. Even my best friend wouldn't talk to me. And that summer, E.T. came out, and you were a divorced mom. And all of a sudden, that gave them permission to include me again. I mean, it's just crazy how we touch lives And I think that's important. I used to teach acting, and I used to tell my students, you can heal more people in one night than a doctor can in a lifetime. And it's true. All right, come back to me. We'll lighten it up again. Sorry.
Speaking of lighting up and making memories, I would love now to turn the questions to the audience. But before I begin, let me slip into something a little more comfortable.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Ken, you're not going to start this. Anyway, this is a guest of honor. Don't mind me. You know, this is the movie Cujo would not have happened for this character. So again,
The bat. Oh, it's a bat.
Oh my God.
So cute.
You are very weird and I love you.
I love it so much.
So don't mind me. I'm gonna flutter around the audience. I won't bite you. I'm not rabid.
God,
Do not worry.
careful,
We're not
right?
having Cujo. So I'm gonna start this way and work my way across the room. So.
Oh my God.
I love it. Oh, my God.
Hello.
Hi.
This question is for Miss Dee Wallace. So, in watching Howling 2, your sister is a werewolf. There was a scene in there, like a funeral scene, where there was another young actress who was playing the role of Karen. It was just a short bit, but I always wondered, seeing the movie, did they ever ask you to be a part of that?
Yes, and I
was
said,
wanting
I'm
to-
sorry I don't do porno yet.
I was really disappointed tonight. I'm like, wait, that's supposed to be Miss Dee Wallace, and it wasn't you. And I'm like, what happened? So I said, I would love
What
to ask
happened is the script wasn't anywhere close to the first script.
her. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you said no to being in it? Is that what? Oh. So of course you weren't at the funeral. Okay, I understand now. I was confused.
Try and keep up.
Hi. I don't really have a question. It's a story. When you were making Cujo, I was in Maine, my home state, working at Bangor's Rock Zone, Stephen King's radio station. And he was at the station one day, and he was talking about a party that he attended. I hope I get this story right, because it was a long time ago. Party that he attended, and you were there, and he overheard you having a conversation with someone asking you what you had been doing lately, and you said, oh, I just spent 3 months in a car with a kid and a dog. And that it had been really traumatic for you. Does that ring a bell for you at all?
Not at all.
No, okay, well,
But probably it happened.
well, he was
And-
delighted.
And it's true. Cujo was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, acting or otherwise.
Wow,
Yeah.
you were amazing. And I just want to say also, that has nothing to do with you, but that is the best movie, I think, that portrayed Maine as Maine really is.
Oh, cool.
In the backwoods roads and all that stuff. There's a lot of places like where you met Cujo. So
Awesome.
it felt
And
like I
we
was at
shot
home.
it in Mendocino. Yeah.
It's Northern
Well,
California.
Northern California. And that area is very much like Maine. They shoot, actually, a lot of the Howling was shot up in the same area.
And fun fact, actually, Cujo was inspired by Mr. King. He went to a mechanic shop, and there was a very violent Saint Bernard that nearly attacked him, and he was very concerned. I mean, the mechanic could
I
like
didn't know that.
hit the dog with a wrench to get
And
him
you
off.
know, the mechanic in the movie was one of my acting students that I brought in to audition for that part, and he got it. Robert Craighead.
And also, Stephen King did drive a Pinto, so a really bad Pinto. I mean,
Dear God.
oxymoron. But again, that was a lot of inspiration for Cujo.
Did you? I can't remember. Did you ever meet him? Or have you met him?
Oh, yeah, he came down.
I wasn't there, I don't think. I don't
Really?
remember. I heard that the story my dad told me was that I spoke to him on the phone, but that I never met him.
Well, he was there before we started shooting, the day before we started shooting, and came down, and I got to meet him. Very nice, sweet, soft-spoken, kind of shy guy. Yeah.
I have like a very big it's hard for me to watch animals get hurt or like pass away. So watching Cujo, like, was hard. Did you ever like get that feeling for the animals?
Well, that's why I made sure before I ever took the part that they would be, and they were, better taken care of than I was. Okay? I mean, everybody on that set. I do a lot of work for animals and others, actors and others for animals. And dogs for me are like my soulmates. So they were very well taken care of, sweetheart. And I told you, they were all trained to go after toys. So we had to tie their tails down because they were wagging them all the time.
I know what you mean, though. We were just watching a TV show, a super violent TV show about the Wild West. It's a new show, I think, on Netflix. And there was a scene when they killed all the horses, and I nearly had a panic attack because I'm the same. It's so scary. And there are a lot of people who've said over the years that they still haven't seen Cujo because too scary for them to watch the dog suffer.
But usually, when you see an animal die on screen, it's pretend, honey. Okay?
I see it in a lot of movies that, and like whenever it would come up, I would cover my eyes because I don't like it.
Well, I'm glad you're sensitive to the love of animals.
Yes.
Good for you.
Hi, so I didn't know that there were actually a few dogs that played Cujo in the movie. 13, wow. I didn't know this is the first time I ever hearing that, but I did hear that in some scenes, a person in a costume actually portrayed
Very, I think the stuntman did 3 scenes in the movie. Well, we've done a few of these.
Oh,
you
just
know.
from the stories. Oh, yeah.
He did the big transformation scene with me at the end. I had begged to do it myself, but at the last minute, our producer, Dan Blatt, said, "Oh, Dee, if you get hurt, you know, then we go down and we lose the money." And so I did it with the stunt man. The stunt woman did it with the real dog. Now, the dog, this is how well trained they were, you guys. Whenever she went forward with the toy around her neck, the dog would lunge forward, but as soon as she would pull back, the dog would pull back. So they got it in one take, and Lewis says, "Yeah, we got it!" And she went, "Yeah!" And nobody had a hand on the dog. And the dog leapt forward and bit her nose off. She's fine, she's beautiful, they put it back on. But that's why they didn't want me. And it really wasn't the dog's fault. The dog was doing what it was trained to do. The handler was supposed to get a handle on the dog before she moved. But in the spontaneity of the moment, of course, everybody was so excited that they got it on the first take that stuff like that happens. You know, the end of the movie where I'm hitting it with a baseball bat, yeah, they say, "Oh, we're going to shoot it in slow motion, Dee, so you really, really, really have to hit the window. You can't break it. It's all been treated. 3rd try, it broke." So the bat in my arm goes through. Do I hear cut? No. So I keep going because we had rehearsed how we were going to do the whole scene. So I got in the car, and this part of my brain is going, get the kid out of the car. And this part of my brain's going, you can't get him out the way you were going to get him out. You can't pull him over the glass. Get the kid out of the car. So I do this stupid waddle. I pick you up, and I waddle out of the car, and I get out of the car. Still don't hear cut. So I run up to the door, and finally they say cut, and Dan runs up and says, "Oh my God, Dee, are you okay? Are you?" I said, I think so. Why? And he said, "Your arm." And I was bleeding all the way up to my, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh my God, we have to take, listen, can we put an ace bandage around it and you do the scene one more time and then we'll go to the hospital." So that's what we did. We wrapped it in an ace bandage, did one more take. They used the original one though. And then we went to go take care of my little arm.
That is actually one of the few memories I do have, is laying in the car and hearing the glass and going, "Oh crap, that
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to happen." And I kind of like rolled away from it a little bit, which made it harder for you to get me. But I do have it's the sound of it, I think, that I remember.
I mean, I think everybody behind the camera went, "Shit," and just froze, because, and as an actor, you're trained, unless you're dead, to keep going until you hear cut, So we did, didn't we, babe?
Oh my God. Dee, your adrenal glands, your arm. What was the insurance like for this movie? Goodness.
Yeah, I wish I'd had some.
Hi,
Hi.
big fan of both of you guys.
Thank you.
Quick question. This is going to be a little bit off what people are normally asking you, but the film itself, she had an affair, and then this happened. Did the character think this happened because of her having an affair, like
Heck
karma?
no. No.
No?
And, I had an affair with the guy who was actually my husband playing my lover in the movie. It was. And how many kids we have never mind. Yeah, never mind. Come to the table, I'll tell you that story. But when Dan sent me the script, because we'd done The Howling together, and I said, "Oh my God, of course I want to do this." But Dan, I don't do nudity. And he said, "Oh, we want Chris to play your lover." And I said, "And I still don't do nudity." So they came up with this pink dress with this full skirt, which covered everything. I'll leave it at that for the kid. Yeah.
This question is actually for both of you. I know in the original novel, Tad dies at the end. Do you either of you recall if that was ever an original thought or if it was changed at the last minute?
What was
that Tad dies in the book. But I was wondering if that was ever.
Oh, no, that was an absolute conscious choice. Dan Black came up to me and asked me, and I'm sure a lot of other people voted on it, and I said, "You cannot kill the kid at the end of this movie." After we put them through 2 hours of what we're going to put them through, it was in the 80s. No, you don't ever kill a kid or a dog. So we really, really had to make every effort to make Cujo into the monster that he became. So at the end, people were actually, when he broke through that window, going, "Yes, shoot him," because none of us wanted, to kill an animal, and it had to be done at the end of that movie.
I just asked because I know Stephen King had said after the book had came out that's the one thing he wishes he could change.
Yeah.
Was letting him live at the end. So I wasn't sure if that was ever an original.
And now they're redoing it. Have you heard that?
Boo.
Whatever. But they're doing it as the book is written, and the book is very, very different.
Oh, okay. So they're
Very
going to do
different.
the serial killer thing?
Well, yeah, and that he's taken over by a demon.
Yeah, or whatever the
That's
original.
my understanding.
Okay.
Don't shoot me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, neither of us knew about it. I read about it on the internet that it was happening. Nobody bothered to call us because that doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
God forbid.
Mhm.
So during the filming, how did you get train the dog to stay like still during when you were putting like blood or stuff on the dog? Like how was it trained to sit still and not get uncomfortable?
Well, they were very well trained, honey. And so they had certain trainers that they knew. And we'd get all ready, we'd get all pumped up, we'd be all psycho to get ready to do the scene. And they'd come in and put fake blood and egg whites for the foam. They'd whip up egg whites. So as soon as they put all the stuff on the dog, we had to be ready to go because the dog would go, and start licking everything off. So
There's actually a scene in the film where the dog's licking the stuff off of his face. Yeah, it's a brief moment, but I always pointed out, look, he's eating the stuff.
which one? Which scene?
I don't know. I'd have to watch it, but yeah,
You
there's.
have to write me to.
I'll find it. I'll
Okay.
find it.
All right, I think we have time for maybe one more question if it's short. All right.
I see one way back there.
Make it good.
I can't see who it is.
That is fine.
Besides the bitten off nose and the cut on the arm from the glass, were there any other major accidents on the set of Cujo?
Yeah. One of my least favorite is we were on a particular set and it was the very last day we were going to be on that set and we hadn't gotten a shot of me where I'm all covered with the mud and the blood and everything. So they took me down to this other part because they were shooting stuff with Danny. And we got down there and the assistant makeup girl went, oh my God, I don't have the blood or the mud. And the light was going down and we had to get the shot. She said, Dee, is it all right if we put some of the mud, this real mud? I said, yeah, just go ahead, just do it. Well, it was great, except we were shooting on a farm. Oh, no. So there were maggots and horse poop all through the mud. Yeah. You think they overpay us? Yeah, I mean, we love doing it, but it ain't all twinkle toes, time.
I've never heard that story. In all this time, I've never heard that.
Yeah, it was lovely to find maggots on my face. Yeah.
And what a way to end the panel.
Perfect way to end the
Thank you
panel.
so much, Dee. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You were great. Thank you.
Please support Zombie Pumpkins. He does great work. Make your own. The Cujo pumpkin. Right?
Oh, isn't it gorgeous?